You think we're your servants? That's what my daughter screamed from the hallway, loud enough to wake the neighbors, if not the dead. I lay in my own bed, body stitched and swollen, still recovering from the surgery I paid for with every last cent of my retirement. She didn't care, and neither did her husband, standing behind her, arms crossed, smirking like a hyena in my house. That's when I said it, calm, final. You have 72 hours to leave this house. It wasn't always like this. I raised Melissa alone after her mother died, worked double shifts, sold the car, skipped meals just so she could eat, learn, grow. I gave her everything. Not for praise, just for the quiet hope that one day, when I couldn't stand on my own, she'd be there, steady, loving, loyal. I was wrong. When she met Jason, she was 27, fresh out of grad school, hopeful. He was slick, charming in a rehearsed kind of way. Always talked too much, laughed too loud, made eye contact just a second too long. I saw the red flags. But Melissa said he made her feel safe, so I kept my mouth shut. I walked her down the aisle, paid for the wedding, gave them the upstairs of my house rent-free so they could save for a home. Foolish. The decline was slow, a shifted tone here, a missed dinner there. By the time I noticed the full picture, they'd stopped knocking on my door altogether. I was a stranger in my own home, a ghost moving down the hallway, careful not to disturb the royalty living above me. Still, I never said a word. Not even when they stopped saying thank you. Not even when they let the groceries rot while I survived on toast. Then came the surgery. Gallbladder. Routine, but painful. I was told to rest for 4 weeks. No bending, no stairs, no stress. I came home from the hospital, house silent. No flowers, no soup. Just a note on the fridge. Call us if you need anything. I called. Once. Melissa sent Jason down with a glass of water and a dead phone battery. That night, I vomited from the pain, crawled to the bathroom, slept on the floor. In the morning, I heard them laughing over pancakes. That's when the shift began. Not in them, in me. I started documenting, not out of malice, out of necessity. Dates, times, photos, screen grabs of ignored messages, audio from nights they hosted loud parties upstairs while I lay sleepless, clenching my stitches. And I made one very important call, to the lawyer who handled the deed. Because the house, the one they were kind enough to live in, it was mine, fully paid, fully in my name. And Melissa's name was never added. Day 10 post-surgery, I asked her, calmly, if she could help with dishes. She rolled her eyes. Jason barked a laugh. Then came the line. The knife. We're not your servants. Like I hadn't served her every day of her life. She stood over me like a stranger. I didn't raise that woman. I raised someone else. Someone who must have died a long time ago. So I sat up, slow, with fire in my ribs, and said the only words I needed to say. You have 72 hours to leave this house. The look on her face? First confusion, then disbelief. Jason stepped forward. You can't do that. You're not well. I smiled. I'm well enough to evict 2 freeloaders. That afternoon, I delivered copies of the legal notice, notarized, sealed. One to their door, one slid under it, one taped to the fridge. I changed the Wi-Fi password. Then I shut off the heat to the upper floor. Then I called the bank and froze the joint emergency fund, the one I had contributed 90% to. Then I canceled the grocery subscription. Day 1, they pounded on my door. I didn't answer. Day 2, they begged, pleaded, said I was acting out. I recorded every word. Day 3, they threatened legal action. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. On the final morning, they stood at the front door, bags packed, eyes hollow. Jason tried one last time. This is cruel. I looked at him, really looked, and I said, cruel is ignoring the man who raised her, bleeding in bed while you make waffles upstairs. Cruel is forgetting who gave you shelter when the world offered you none. He didn't respond. Melissa did. Tears, but not from remorse, from entitlement, like the queen banished from her throne. They left without a hug, without a backward glance. But that's not what broke me. What broke me? I didn't feel broken. I felt light. 2 months later, I turned Melissa's old room into a reading library. Got a cat. Started cooking again. Real food. My stitches healed. So did I. You don't always get justice in this life. But sometimes, if you hold your ground, if you stay quiet long enough to let the fools expose themselves, you get something better. Clarity. Let them think I was weak. Let them think I'd always bend. They forgot one thing. I